You know, it's become a bit of a tradition in Doctor Who to have a Doctor-Lite episode every series. It made sense back in the classic era. They were shooting over 40 episodes a year. So if William Hartnell was ill, they'd work around it. You had things like the Daleks' Master Plan, the 10th Planet. Even John Pertwee had his moments in a coma in the Demons and Planet of the Daleks, but it was done with purpose. The idea wasn't to cut corners, it was to keep the machine running. Then we had David Tennant's era, where the Christmas Invasion saw him lying around for half the runtime, or Blink, which barely featured him, because the man was probably busy filming Human Nature. It worked because he still felt present, and more importantly, the writing compensated. They still gave us 13 proper episodes, and you didn't feel shortchanged. But now in the modern era, you're lucky if you get 8 episodes, and yet somehow the lead still needs a break. A holiday. Really? When there's barely any work to begin with? If you can't be bothered to commit to the role, then why take it? This is Doctor Who, not a guest appearance on Casualty. If you aren't invested, piss off. Welcome to the Snake Pit, where we're full of bile and venom. I'm your host, Snake Daemon, and today we're picking apart the latest example of how far this once great show has fallen, and how a Doctor-Lite episode with barely any Doctor has accidentally become a highlight of the series. So what happened in this episode? The Doctor and Ruby arrive on New Year's Day 2007 and meet a kid named Conrad. Conrad grows up obsessing over the Doctor, researching sightings and encounters, especially when Ruby was the companion in 2024. He's marked by a creature called the Shriek, but Ruby gives him an antidote. Jump to 2025. Ruby, now no longer traveling with the Doctor, is doing a podcast interview with Conrad. They start dating because why not? And Ruby fears the Shriek is still after them. Unit gets involved, Kate Stewart shows up, and it turns out this whole thing's been a setup. Conrad never took the antidote. The Shriek attacks. Fake. His relationship with Ruby, a ploy. He's trying to expose Unit as a sham and goes full whistleblower conspiracy nut. He leaks info, gets an inside man to sneak him into Unit HQ, and goes live on a stream to show how corrupt they are. But Kate plays a power move. She releases the real Shriek, which promptly attacks Conrad. He gets injured, admits he lied, and public opinion swings back to Unit. Ruby stuns the thing, Kate gets a slap on the wrist, and Conrad's off to prison. Until Mrs. Flood, who is clearly evil, but for some reason no one notices, lets him out and tells him it's his lucky day. Here's the kicker. This could have been good. In fact, if this wasn't Doctor Who, it might have been great. Watching a former companion struggle with PTSD, trying to move on from time travel and alien nonsense, that's worth exploring. But not like this, that's spin-off material. You want to do that story? Fine. Give Ruby her own 3-episode miniseries. She's not entirely insufferable. She's got some range, and I'd probably watch it. We got K9 and Company, which led to the Sarah Jane Adventures. Torchwood spun out of Doctor Who and carved its own space. That's how you do it. You don't hijack an already short series for glorified fan fiction therapy just to give your star time off. It's lazy, and it tells the audience you don't value their time. And here's what makes it worse. It's basically love and monsters, but without any of the charm. That episode had a group of weirdos coming together over a shared love for the Doctor. This one's got a white man as the manipulative baddie who has to be put in his place by everyone around him. Real fresh, never seen that before. Better alert the media. A smug podcast, bro. Got lectured in a sci-fi show. You see the pattern, right? This isn't storytelling, it's checkbox content. You're not telling me a tale about humans reacting to aliens. You're just trying to dunk on a demographic you think it's okay to scapegoat again, and it's exhausting. When the highlight of your episode is that the Doctor isn't in it much, that's not clever, that's pathetic. In the end, what are we left with? A bottle episode, padded out with reheated tropes, and dressed up as something thoughtful. All it really does is confirm what many of us already feared That Doctor Who is being run by people who don't care about the legacy, the character, or the fans. It's a vacation for the lead and a lecture for the audience. This didn't need to exist. It doesn't build the arc, it doesn't develop the Doctor. It doesn't even push Ruby forward. It's a placeholder that tells us the show isn't worth the actor's full attention. And that's a damning indictment. But hey, at least we didn't have to see that insufferable crybaby as much. When the best part of your Doctor Who episode is the Doctor not being in it, you've got a real problem. Well, apart from those 1.5 million overnights. Thanks for dropping by the Snake Pit, where we thrive on untapped potential and lost opportunities. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell like the video, and leave your opinions in the comments, where naturally I won't read them. Until next time, stay venomous.